You just gave me, LeVar.
Got him. You're watching Speak for Yourself. Marcellus, Wiley, Manuel, Acho. Time for our big story. Let's move on to Carson Wentz, who didn't practice Tuesday with what's being called a lower body injury. Wentz's injury history is well documented. The Eagles quarterback has missed 13 games, including the playoffs, to injuries in his NFL career. The Eagles open their season in less than 2 weeks, but Doug Peterson feels confident Wentz will be ready. Listen to this.
What Carson's working through right now is nothing major. Just it's minor and it's day to day, and this is actually a good time for this week to rest. As you guys know, if we played a game on Thursday, a preseason game, he wouldn't play this week anyway. So all the backups would go. So this is really a good time for him to really rest and for the majority of our starters to kind of rest and prepare themselves, for next week. So I have no issues of where Carson is, where he's headed, and he'll be ready to go.
Liar. Acho, sorry. Should the Eagles already be worried about your boy Carson Wentz?
Okay, let me say something.
Come on, man.
There's never a good time to be hurt. Let's get that out of the way. Come on, Doug.
Like he mapped it to the calendar.
I like your way. There's never a good time to be hurt. But Eagles fans, let me talk to y'all because y'all know I mess with y'all. Don't be worried about Carson Wentz. I'm going to talk to y'all and I'm going to talk to my brother Marcellus. Marcellus, Carson Wentz played 98.6% of the Eagles snaps last year. Third highest on the team. Carson Wentz played the 7 most percentage snaps of any quarterback in the NFL last year. What I need you to do is what I saw and read that the state of California does, Marcellus. You see, in the state of California, after a while, if you have a misdemeanor, your record gets expunged based on a certain amount of time. What that means is your slate gets wiped clean. The problem with you, Marcellus, is that you continue to look at Carson Wentz through this 2017, 2018 lens. You continue to look at this Carson Wentz as if it's the old Carson Wentz, when in fact, he played the entire regular season healthy last year. And you're going to bring up, he got hurt in the playoffs.
They got Eminem time.
If a 280-pound man cheap shots you, you probably get hurt too. So I don't look at Carson Wentz getting cheap shotted. I don't count that against him because that was illegal and not in the course of play. So what I need you to do is get out of your own way, Marcellus, and go ahead and wipe Carson Wentz's slate clean because he's not the injury-prone quarterback that you, along with the rest of the media, want to make him out to be.
Wow. Okay. You took a lot of shots at me instead of shots to make your point, but okay. That's the theater we're going to do. Should Eagles already be worried about Carson Wentz? Yes, they were already worried. And let's describe what worried means.
Please.
Emotionally, kind of out over your skis, like not just in reality, but anxiety, thoughts like, there's some issues going on with my reality, so how do I handle them? The Eagles handled them all right. They weren't just worried, they were prepared for this situation.
I
know the truth hurts. Excuse me, the truth, Jalen hurts. And I understand that you don't want to accept this reality. I've been there before in the NFL headquarters, in the offices at San Diego Chargers. I remember there are 2 war rooms, and there's one where they're talking about the prospects, and there's one they're talking about the active players. And in those war rooms, when coaches sit around with GMs and capologists and the owner, they're not always talking about us in glowing terms. There was a conversation they must have had about Carson Wentz saying, the dude can ball when the dude is available. I have a full screen right here, full screen king, showing Carson Wentz's injury history. And you lied on the record. You said, you always talk about 2017, 2018. Let's start in 2020, y'all. A concussion. Let's go down to the back injury, ACL, LCL tear, rib fracture, wrist fracture. We're talking about 13 games in NFL he's missed, 8 games in college. And of those 13 games in the NFL, don't let the little font make you think those are just regular season games. One includes the Super Bowl. One includes playoff games. So the point of this is, Acho, I want you to realize that I'm going to try this man as an adult.
Okay.
I'm not going to expunge his record.
Understood.
I'm going to say all of these crimes of not being available is going to count against you, Carson Wentz. And that was the conversation that led them to a Jalen Hurts.
Marcellus, how do I feel about this full screen?
Don't you do that. Respect your...
That's how I feel about your full screen, Marcellus. In the trash. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
The Eagles played on Carson Wentz played on a team last year in Philadelphia where Zach Ertz lacerated his kidney. Tough, dude. Gets hurt, had to play through that. Deshaun Jackson hurt. Alshon Jeffries hurt. Nelson Aguilar missed his time. Everybody on the Eagles roster, including Jason Peters, future Hall of Fame left tackle, missed his time. You want to know who didn't? You want to know who stood tall in the pocket, Marcellus? Time after time? Carson Wentz. You want to know who has started more games than Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff since getting into the league? Carson Wentz. So you're going to sit here, Marcellus, and look at a bunch of dated data. That's what you're doing. You're looking at a bunch of dated data, and you're trying to make an argument based off things that are out of date. The fact of the matter is you need to update yourself. We, the media, we have to get off this lazy narrative. Who else missed time this camp? DeAndre Hopkins. But we're not looking at DeAndre Hopkins saying, well, he missed time. We should all be worried. We're not, because DeAndre Hopkins hasn't been hurt recently. Carson Wentz also hasn't been hurt recently. So let's stop talking about 2018, although we like to live in the past, 2016, 2015, and let's talk about the here and the now.
Let me help you out. Because
I need no help.
You need some help right now. Dog, he stay hurt. Like, this is just a thing. Like, I understand you're trying to pick out the times where he was there, 98.6% of all snaps. I'm just going to tell you this. If you watched the playoffs last year, you didn't see Carson Wentz finish that game, did you? You did. For whatever reason, in football, a lot of things happen, mostly legal, sometimes illegal. Point of it is, they're looking at it like, is this another domino in the narrative against Carson Wentz? And unfortunately, it is. As we used to call him, can't get right. And you remember can't get right. Like, no matter what happens,
come on, bro,
something bad happens to you.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question, because that's what we do here. If Carson Wentz doesn't have the concussion. No, I'm asking you.
If it was a
no. I'm just serious question, serious question. If Wentz doesn't have this concussion, do you still make the same argument?
Yeah. You know why? Because we were having an argument before that, and that's why we were saying, please don't get hurt. And that's the one thing he did. He stepped exactly into the narrative against him. He's not just fighting injuries, brother. I'm an injury-prone player. That's why I went from here to there, because of injuries. He's not just fighting those injuries. He's fighting the perception that he's injury-prone. One of the knocks against Carson Wentz coming out of college, you know this, you study college football, was kind of getting banged up a lot. All right, whatever. We're still going to draft him. He's a franchise quarterback. And then when they need him, and need him most, he's played one quarter of January football
let's be real.
For a Super Bowl winning team.
Let's stop doing this for the show. Let's be real, me and you. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh, let's get it personal.
Okay, now look. So you really, if Wentz plays 2019 completely healthy, doesn't get a concussion, you're going to sit here, and if he's hurt right now, you're going to say, based on Wentz being hurt in 2018 and 2017, you would tell me, be worried, Eagles fans, he was hurt 600 days ago.
Hold on. He's been hurt this list, only 2019 is the only one he wasn't hurt. And guess why? Because he went to January in 2020. He waited a month.
Isn't that what matters?
Every year. No, here's the thing. Let me tell you. As an injury-prone player, I felt the pressure. And I remember walking around in San Diego, my 7th year in the league, and I kept saying, I can't get hurt again. Not because I'm playing good or playing great or whatever. I just can't keep feeding that negative narrative against me. And guess what? I remember going to training camp practice. Hamstring gave on me. I faked it during that practice just because I couldn't even go to our training room and tell them, here I go again, because I know they're going to give me that eye roll. Wiley hurt again. So guess what I did? I called my doctor. He drove up to the Carson parking lot. Doc Murray manipulating, active releasing my hamstring just because I didn't want to get hurt again. I know what Carson Wentz is going through between here, man. It's not a pretty place. Coming up, new Giants head coach Joe Judge is endearing himself to his players with a good old roll in the mud, brother. We'll break it down. That's Speak for yourself.